Hello everyone, myself CA Ashwini Sonone from Instagram handle CA Let's Achieve. This video will be based on Paper 2, Section A, Business Law for CA Foundation students. If you like this video, then please do subscribe to my channel. So, Business Law for CA Foundation consists of 5 chapters: the Indian Contract Act 1872, the Sale of Goods Act 1930, the Indian Partnership Act 1932, the Limited Liability Partnership, and the Companies Act 2013. Today, we are going to make law more interesting. So, let's begin with a story for easy understanding of law. Imagine you have recently started a business of sale of clothes. Now, as you are the seller, so what all things will be taken care by you? The things might be transfer of ownership, delivery of goods, the condition of sale, whether the warranty needs to be given. What if the buyer doesn't pay you the promised amount? If the sale is of high value, then there might be necessity of contract of sale. So what all needs to be covered in that? So your one chapter is easily understood now. Now let's take the story forward. You want to sell in huge quantities and make a contract of sale. So what all can be covered in the contract and what all is necessary to be covered so that the buyer doesn't cheat you and you can take appropriate action against him in case he doesn't pay you back. So for this, you need to understand what all are the elements of the contract, what are the essential things to conclude that a contract is a valid contract, and what are the types of contracts so you know which contract you can make and what needs to be included in it. As you move ahead, you need to understand that for a contract to be valid, there needs to be consideration. So you will try to understand what the buyer is promising to pay you for the goods you are going to give him. When you try to understand this, you need to know what is considered as a valid consideration and whether it will not impact your contract. So you come to me and we do a detailed study about that. Once you decided on the consideration, now we move ahead with the making of the contract. When we are processing with the work, we came to know that the buyer might be a minor. Now, we want to make sure whether this contract will be valid in case he happens to be a minor. We digged it further to know whether we can sue him in case he doesn't pay us. Now, we came to know that there are other essential elements which needs to be considered to make a contract valid, so we took a note of that too. After all this hard work, we finally made a contract, but you are still unsure whether he will pay you or not. So you wanted to know that in case he doesn't pay, what all can be done against him, and you tried to understand all possible actions against him in case he doesn't obey the contract. Now you were relaxed that you have many options and it is safe to contract with him. The first contract went well and many other sales happened. Your business increased and you needed 2 or 3 more persons to help you with the load. So you thought, how can your proprietary module of business can be converted and what all will be required? You wanted to know all possibilities, so you compared whether partnership business will be good or Hindu undivided family or co-ownership or joint stock company or association. So you don't miss any opportunity. Finally, after discussion with your expert, that is me, you concluded that partnership module will be good as of now. Now, you had already made many contracts, so you knew that many things might go wrong in the process. So you inquired further about essential elements of partnership, who can be your partner, how you should manage the profit sharing, what should be included in the partnership agreement. One of your friends was doing freelancing services and was interested to be a part of your business once he heard that you are taking partners into your business. So he inquired you whether he can be a part of your business, but the problem was he didn't want to share any losses. So you again came to me and inquired what all can be the types of partner, and we concluded that you can take him as your partner. You also decided to take one of your friends as a nominal partner. Your business flourished and many deals were happening. Now the next worry for you was, if someone leaves, what will be the consequences? Who will be liable to the parties we have purchased material from? whether we can take more partners in, what will be the rights and duties of old and new partners. With all this question, we sat for a discussion and took a note of all possibilities. One day, one of your partner happened to expire in a tragic accident. Now the next question which triggered you is what will be the status of partnership agreement? Whether his minor child can be taken in as a partner, but what can we do if there are losses in the future? What will be the decision making power of the minor? So we had a great deal of discussion over this and understood all possibilities. Business went on similarly for several years, and many partners came and left. And as the liability under the partnership was unlimited, you had a fear that one day you will have to bear more expenses. So now you wanted to know whether you should dissolve the partnership or convert it into a limited liability partnership. So we discussed all the cost involved, the procedure involved, and you decided to dissolve the company and form a new LLP. Now you became an expert person. You had sold goods, you made contracts, you did partnerships, and now you want to do LLP because you want to enjoy the limited liability and new form of entity with new brand name. As you were unaware about what all will be the characteristics of partners and duties and obligation, you came to me to discuss about it, and we discussed about partners, agreement, legal compliances, capacity to sue others, acquisitions and sale of new assets, property, etc. Further, we decided to proceed forward with incorporation of your LLP. One of the partners of your LLP was oversmart. He told you that as we are having limited liability, we can cheat the buyers in the name of the LLP and not pay them. So you again got worried and came to me to know what will be the consequences. As you were experienced and knew what all can happen in case of breach of any contract, so I informed you about unlimited liability in case of fraud. Now your mind was clear of all such unnecessary thoughts and you started filing the LLP returns, compliances, keeping proper books of accounts, and preparing the documents as required by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Many years went by smoothly, and your business grew multifolds. Now you thought you can incorporate a private limited company or a public limited company to increase the business by more boundaries. So you came to me and inquired about share issue, paperwork involved in the form of memorandum of association and articles of association. You also had a thought whether you can let your son set up a one-person company to explore his full potential in the business. We had a healthy discussion about it. Then you went home and wrote all the possibilities and came to a conclusion to register your company. We got your company registered, you had equity as well as preference shareholders. Business carried out happily and you passed with flying colors and promoted to CA intermediate course. Learnings from the story. What we understood from the story is that we have covered the whole syllabus of law in the form of a story. Now, how you have to proceed with your reading is in the same manner as the story flows. Keep your imagination on and try to picture yourself in the form of a businessman trying to know all the possibilities. Firstly, try to focus on what is the concept, what is the reasoning, or what a particular provision wants to tell. Don't take stress and think about remembering section number and case law names. It is okay if you don't remember section number or case law names. We will discuss further on that in the next video. Primarily, focus on whether you understand what the provision wants to convey. Once you understand the provisions and the law, you should make short notes for self-reference, like in the definition of a company, what all is important, only that words can be written. You can take reference of institute's study material for flowchart for easy remembering. The next, you have to take past paper questions and understand what the question is asking and how it is answered. Knowing provisions is one thing and being able to apply it is yet another thing. So, with all your knowledge, you need to understand what question can be framed and how you have to apply the knowledge on it. Writing all provisions in a single question from that chapter is not a solution. Only that needs to be written which is asked and applicable for the given question. I hope this helps you in studying law subject with great understanding. Our next video will be based on how to write law exam paper. Till then, stay tuned. All the best. Thank you for watching this video. If you like our content, then please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share with your friends. Thank you.